to tell you something right now. The National Football League, specifically the American Football Conference, is very fucking lucky that Jimmy Haslam was a retard and he allowed Hugh Jackson to operate this team for as many games as he did this year. Because if they would have fired Hugh Jackson last year, with Baker GX Mayfield starting the season, this record would be a little different than 6-7-1. Think about that. In fact, I'm a little pissed off that the referee stole a game from us, the National Football League. We would be, get this, 7-6-1 right now if the fucking faggot Al Riveron fucking faggot didn't overturn that call. That's never overturned the National Football League. Did never overturn that call with a Carlos Hyde. That call is never overturned. They wanted to prolong the game. They robbed it from us. 7-6-1. We're still alive for the division. Believe that. We're still alive for the playoffs. Believe that. And we can listen. 7-6-1. We win our final 2 games. We're 9-6-1. Just think about that. Let that sit in. We're in the playoffs, basically. I am so fucking livid over that referee taking that office. This team. I'll tell you something right now. If we got on the record, there is not a team in the National Football League that wants to play the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. And we could have been in the playoffs. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen Sunday. We're going to slaughter Cincinnati. It's going to be fucking, there's going to be no letting the foot off the gas pedal. They're going to fucking slaughter them. 53-14. And then we're going to Baltimore. Baltimore's going to need a win to get in. And we're going to beat them 24-13. That's what we're going to do. And this team's going to finish 8-7-1 and miss the playoffs. But we should be 9-6-1. And that fucking referee, Al Riveron, fucked us. Now, I think the NFL should go to that game and say, you know what? There's no way we can overturn that call. The game means nothing to the Raiders. Put the Browns in the playoffs. Be the best story of the year. We deserve it. And let the games begin. There's not a team in the AFC right now that wants to face the Cleveland Browns and Baker GX Mayfield. I'm just telling you right now. Greg Williams will have a game plan sufficient enough to stop any team in the National American Football Conference. He will stop San Diego. He will even stop Patrice Mahomes. And if he can't stop Patrice Mahomes, Baker GX Mayfield will match score for score with Patrice Mahomes. The NFL should really think about this. Could be big for the league. They made a mistake. It's obvious. They fucked up. That should have been the Cleveland Browns game. We won. They never... Listen, if it was conclusive, fine, we lose. But we won that game. It was conclusive that we won, and they stole it from us. I knew that was going to come back to haunt us. And Jimmy Haslam could have avoided the whole thing, inverted the whole thing, if he would have fired Hugh Jackson, new coach, whatever, or whatever. Fire Hugh Jackson after 3 games. And guess what? We're probably about 10-6, maybe 10-5-1. Let's be honest about the first game of the season with Baker GX Mayfield. We beat the Steelers. The Steelers right now, I know their fans will, oh, we're in the playoffs. Steelers fans, let me tell you something. You have a diminished Ben Roethlisberger's arm shot. He can't even throw the deep ball no more. Antonio Brown was on the sidelines. The game was in the balance. Didn't even give a fuck. This Steelers team is going to get knocked out. If they get to the playoffs, they're going to get slaughtered in the first round no matter who they play. It doesn't matter. The Patriots, listen, I can sit there and blow smoke up your asses and say they'll be back. We've seen this before, but this team, it's a shell of its former self. They're done. They're going to get, no matter who they play, they're going to get beat. The team you got to look out for if the Browns aren't allowed to participate. San Diego Chargers, Kansas City Chiefs. You don't have to worry about the Baltimore Colts or Baltimore Ravens. You don't have to worry about the Indianapolis Colts. You don't have to worry about the Texans. You don't have to worry about them at all. You have to worry about the Kansas City Chiefs. And my pick, the San Diego fucking Chargers. I believe they'll get it done. But the Steelers ain't going nowhere. None. Now, what's going to happen after this year transpires, or what's going to transpire, I want to say, after the season's over? The Cleveland Browns are going to win that division next year, 13-3, 14-2, maybe 12-4 at the worst. And they're going to hold that spot because John Dorsey is building a fucking beast. Beast. We're going to control the AFC North. That's going to be ours. Second place for whoever. And, I'm telling you right now, this next year, there's going to be a lot of experts picking the Browns to win that division. We 4-1 our last 5 fucking games. That game we won Saturday night in Denver, that was an ugly win. No one really particularly, I mean, it was just an ugly win. Those are the type of games that the old Browns would lose. But Baker jinxed his mojo, and he didn't have his best game. But I think the reason for that is the ball, when you're a quarterback in Denver, that ball, he just had a bad game. But he got it done. When it counted, the way he looked, or the way he looked off that fucking safety, or on the corner, in that slant, whatever, he looked like he was going to throw it to the corner end zone, and he just flung it right there. This dude is special. But I'm going to tell you something. He wasn't accurate. That's why I say it was the atmosphere. He wasn't used to the atmosphere, because he was very accurate. He wasn't accurate that night. I think it was the atmosphere, the altitude. But we won ugly. That's what we usually lose some type of games. The players love. We got a quarterback now. That's all I know. And we have some talent. The Browns do have a lot of talent. And I will say this right now. I was pissed. Remember Josh Gordon we let him go in New England. I'll be honest, I was so fucking mad. But after watching Josh, I was wrong about him. I thought he would just, now if he was in Cleveland, he should have stayed in Cleveland. I'm going to tell you why. He should have tried being a good boy and not pouted trying to get out of Cleveland. Because right now, if the New England Patriots let him go, nobody wants him. He looks like a guy that can't even get open no more. He wasn't the best route runner. He looks like a guy that can't get open no more. He's a shell of his former self. But if he's in Cleveland, I guarantee his numbers would be at least 6 times more than they are in New England. Because Mayfield would have got on the ball. Brady, you can tell, don't trust him. Doesn't throw to him. I mean, he just in Cleveland, he would have done a lot better. And he would have had a nice contract next year, whatever. Now, he ain't got no contract. Nobody wants that fool. He can't play no more. I was wrong. I thought he was going to dominate. He lost all his skill. But, so I'm glad. I wouldn't even want him back right now. If they said we could have him back for free, I wouldn't even want him. John Dorsey was right about getting rid of him. He was. But I think that, I tell you what, this Browns team, we're like a piece away from being we're a piece or two away from being an elite defensive unit. So, Browns on the way up, Steelers on the way down. Lamar Jackson, as soon as he has to throw the ball to win the game, interception. Pick six. Interception. He is another RG turd. But RG3 was a better passer, I'll tell you that right now. Deshaun Watson's great. I looked at Deshaun Watson coming out of college, weak arm, didn't think nothing of him. That dude's good. He is good. He's the real deal. He's no Baker Jakes Mayfield. No, he's good. He's real good. But I would not trade Mayfield for any quarterback in the league right now. Even Patrice Mahomes. Mayfield is the perfect guy for Cleveland. He's a guy that Cleveland Browns will have 5 primetime games next year. I'm going to tell you why. Networks want to see the Cleveland Browns, and they want to see Baker Mayfield. But the Cleveland Browns they're an interesting team right now. They're an exciting team to watch. They will have 5 primetime games. And Sunday night is the new Monday night. Monday night's boring. Sunday night games are the best. So the Cleveland Browns are going to be, I notice I'm not talking about Cleveland no more. And I know why, because the season's over. They're out of the playoffs, basically. Oh, Frank Reich. You should have tied that game instead of going for it, because that's going to kill your playoff chances. If he didn't fucking go for it, he played not the tie, he should have took the tie. He'd be in a playoff hunt right now, even though he should have playoff hunt right now. But that tie could have helped him. It could have helped him. So, I'm pumped up about football. It sucks I got to wait a whole fucking year to play meaningful games again. But we could beat Baltimore and end up playing. I have a catch-22. If we have to lose to Baltimore so the Steelers can't get in the playoffs, I'll be honest with you. I think I'd want to lose. I do. I would love to see Mike G. Tomlin miss the playoffs. I would love it. So, yeah, if the Ravens need to win and we lose and the Steelers are out, if we have to beat the Ravens for the Steelers to get in the playoffs somehow, whatever, because they're going to lose to New Orleans. I know it. Hey, New Orleans didn't look good offensively the other night. Blueprint's out. The Steelers don't have the linebackers or the secondary help to stop this team. They'll hang 40 on them. If we have to lose to Baltimore for the Steelers not to get in the playoffs, I'll gladly lose. Hey, start Tyrod Taylor. So, yeah, I'm pumped up. Subba-lub, dub, 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 the dub, subba-lub, dub, dub. Oh, you're gonna cry? Are you gonna cry? Oh, you're gonna cry? Yeah, I feel good about the football season. I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait till next year. Oh my, I'm so pumped up. Meaningful games. I love being in the spot. And I'll tell you what, I like the Browns' white shirts and orange pants. I do. This team, Demarius Randall, what a fucking stud he is. What a beast. If you any Browns fans out there, if you ever watch Hard Knocks, just watch the team. They hated Hugh Jackson. They looked at him as a clown. It's evident. Look at Demarius Randall, when he gave the ball to Hugh Jackson, that wasn't no joke. That's a guy that hates the coach. So the bottom line is I'm pumped up. And I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight either. And I don't give a fuck. But I do know one thing. 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 Louisiana hot sauce. Louisiana hot sauce. And you know what? I see these nerds play video games. Play video games. I'll let the nerds play the video games. I'll let the nerds talk about video games. I reinvented my... You think about this. I've been on YouTube for over 10 years. In that 10-year span, I changed my whole format, and I'm still relevant. And I lost the channel, and I'm still relevant. What does that tell you? I'm an entertainment giant.